Hey everyone, welcome back. So I figured that we may as well just pick up where we left off. Um, and just before this thing boots, I'll be right back. So Piggy's had his what did he have? He had his beef. He had his duck. You know, that cat eats better than me. So anyway, he had a bit of a sleep. I had a bit of a chill. It's Friday. So we're Yeah, and I figure, I've got no real obligations. Actually, tomorrow, I do have obligations. Fuck, so we can't stay up too late. But it'll probably just be the normal time. But I got a full weekend, which is always good. So tomorrow I'm going to the Warhammer shop, and I'm playing a practice game. I'm really good that I'm finally getting to use my figures and actually play a game. And it's just kind of weird, like I just never felt particularly compelled to you never know where to start so the best way to do it usually with a lot of is to go for a practice session and just learn how to play that way and then just see if anywhere is hosting it and yeah, there you go. So we're gonna go backtrack on this stream. We're gonna see if we can find what we missed. So yeah, I'm spending Valentine's Day playing Space War in the far future with my blue Darth Vaders with a gun. That's actually kind of how I explain Warhammer to the fucking normies that don't know what Warhammer is. So 40k, I'm like, it's like yeah, you play as these special forces guys who are all blue Darth Vader with a gun, and you it's like this big space war. You collect minis, and they all have different fucking weapons and rules. And once you get into it, it's really good. So, yeah, we definitely looted here. So, and then, I found some wisdom about Valentine's Day years ago, actually, where it's like, you know what? It's just another day if you're not with anyone. And then I really got the raw fucking end of the deal because last year, shortly before it, that's when my breakup happened, right? And then did I mention I'm finally getting my haircut on the 20th, and then I've got new scripts coming in, so like I can fill in a bunch more stuff. But anyway, where was I going with this? And then you know what? The Valentine's Day before that, I won't go into that because actually, even the year before, that was really fucking upsetting. And like, I don't know, there was just a lot of things wrong that, like, you could immediately identify throughout that entire fucking second half of that entire relationship, actually, where you know something's seriously wrong, but it's just really fucking awkward because the other person is just pretending not to understand. That, like, if you do some things when you've obviously got a partner slash spouse, it will be seen as a really shitty thing to do. Like, yeah, I'm not going to go into specifics because there's no point. Like, it's been a year, and I've got some, like, here's the thing as well. I feel like when you're a man, or if you are more the kind of person to seek out quality over quantity, right? It is going to be a slow burn, but a lot of things in life, I feel like after you get to a certain age, the things you have to do to, like, have things to be proud of or have things to show for your toil, that they're not. We're so programmed in the society by, like, movies and fucking the new reality TV, which is TikTok stars and all that shit. That, like, young overnight success is like this sustainable thing that people just get, right? And it's like, no, actually, for most people, the type of success they want needs to be a slow burn. It's cultivated over time. It's like a garden that has to grow. And it's like being, or like a farmer, right? Where you'll have bouts and fleets of inspiration and stuff, but you know, it's kind of like George Martin not finishing his novels in a timely manner ever. or since 2011. Like, there's this YouTube comment where someone was like, "Oh, dude, spoilers," or like one of the cast members was at a party or something. It's like, bro, Jon Snow has been fucking dead since 2011 because the next book isn't out. You don't even know if he's gonna come back. He might not. George might surprise us. And I was watching something, like, he considers himself a gardener. Well, you know, crops, farms, gardens, sometimes crops don't yield reliably because of weather, because of, or they yield slow. Some things take a long time to grow. I don't know what the metaphor I'm trying to say here. What I'm trying to say is that not every life stage is replicatable, or not everybody is replaceable. And then I was kind of thinking earlier today, it was more just thinking about, fuck, you know, I was like, wow, ever since I moved down here, I've either, the people that have come and gone in my life, I've just been disappointed and let down by so many things, right, that should have just gone right, that should have just gone smooth, that people I thought I could count on, I couldn't count on. Projects that should have gotten off the ground didn't get off the ground for this reason or that reason. Jobs that should have, been more than they were, or friendships or relationships or arrangements should have worked out and they didn't. And, you know, that's just life sometimes. And, you know, the core group of people that I love in my life, that I have come to rely on, I've realized it was the people I started with, which is fortunate for me, because not everybody has that. And it's, I had those people before I even moved down here, and it's not that I'm like turning my nose up at every single person I've met, or every single project was supposed to blow up, or I'm supposed to become best fucking friends and buddies with like absolutely everybody I meet, or that I ever dabble with it's more just the industry or stuff I see tells me that if you behave a certain way, if you do certain things and behaviors are supposed to bear fruit, or ripe fruit, and when they don't, it's like, fuck, like, what are you left with? But then it's like, well, you carry on and you try something new and you try again, right? And you try to make the best and do what you can with what you got. And I'm not the only person to ever feel like this. I mean, I'm sure that there's people that I'm friends with online who, you know, people come and go, or things change in people's lives. You know, they can't always commit to things in the same way because the situation changes, or they have thoughts about things or feelings about things that they don't necessarily share with everybody. Or like there's an inner world that they don't communicate, or, you know, everybody gets like that. I get like that in the stream. I don't just openly share, even though it's probably interesting. Well, at the minute, every single like shitty thing that I feel like has happened at XYZ time, or what am I trying to say? It's like I could sit here and be disappointed about how certain things didn't bear fruit when they really should have, or how it's very strange and weird to me how like I don't know, like it's not just projects, it's like when I say relationships, I don't just mean romantic ones, I mean like friendships, or I don't know, I guess in some ways I felt like life would be a lot busier at this point, but really it's like things have calmed down and gotten a lot more into a routine. And it's not that I can never meet new people, it's not that things that I do could never take off, it's not that other things I do aren't meaningful or cool or interesting to me, because they are. I think it's just more that I feel like I'm actively missing things, and if I don't build or find those things eventually, well, this core group of people, family members, you know, that, you know, they aren't gonna be here forever, you know, and eras aren't here forever, you know. Sometimes you don't know what you have until it's gone. Other times, you really tried to make something stick because you really value it and you want to make the best of it, and you do, and it still doesn't work out. And I think that's like, we're taught to expect that, like, ultimately certain things will work out, or if you do X, Y, Z right, there's no way it can fuck up. And I've seen it happen where bastards. Just unfortunately, it doesn't work out like that. And people come and go, and people will disappoint you. Some people will surprise you. I'm at a concert with my friend who lives far away, but then I'm like, other things about my situation. Well, my job's good at the minute, but there's nothing really pulling or compelling me to like go live somewhere else, for instance, right? Because more ruins of a building built within cliffs. I'm being really fucking vague, and I'm not giving specifics here, and I know people hate that sometimes, but I'm trying to give like an overview of my thoughts and feelings earlier today that will like not be like exposing or super personal and specific. I don't feel like I'm at the point on this lazy game stream where I'm gonna be super fucking specific, because like I've kind of realized that I don't have the stress of or the anxiety or the turmoil or the strife of dealing with being actively let down all the time, like I was for the past year. I'm basically like, I've been dealing with the fucking time flies when I feel when you're in a super consistent routine and you're not seeing a lot of people all of the time. Also with drinking, I got sick of feeling like shit all the time with the drinking thing. It's not why I'm not drinking right now. Because I picked that back up for a couple of months, and it it does nothing for you. But then I wouldn't have met Piggy, and Piggy is a really lovely cat who just let himself in one day and has just kind of been showing up every day since. I've checked his microchip, and I'm pretty sure that, well, his microchip is, he has one, but the I think the number and the email on it or whatever are just. So I need to go and knock on the door one of those days just to like check that he has somewhere to stay, and they're clearly feeding him and looking after him, but it's like they need to update the microchip in case anything happens. Or anyway, so he lives half the time here. I don't know, but like Piggy, well, if I wasn't here that night or some other nights, would Piggy have met me? Would I have this lovely little cat that jumps on the stream with me and comes for cuddles and has this hilarious meow when he walks in that's more like a not like a bark, it's like a gaspy, like, I'm not going to do an impression of it, I'll embarrass myself, but I'm fucking streaming a video game, being really fucking vague and trying to say something profound, and it's just a jumble of my own fucking stream of consciousness that I can't even put into words because I can't even be specific. So what the fuck am I talking about? Embarrassing myself, right? What was I even trying to say? Yeah, so for instance, Piggy has been an absolute blessing. Piggy's kind of kept me sane. Because my family live pretty far away. I have to travel, and I've traveled to see them more this year, actually. But there's other instances where, okay, yeah, what I was saying is I've now got the stress and the post letdown and that feeling of betrayal. So it's like I'm no longer feeling like I'm actively being betrayed constantly. I've got the fallout of being like, well, the anger of the fallout of I can't believe that I went through all that shit and did all that shit, and for what? And all these other questions. And then, I realized that person has all but disappeared from my life. They don't want to be in mine, and they don't want me involved in theirs. So if they died tomorrow, what would change in my life right now, as fucking horrible as that is to say? Like, they could care less if it happened to me. So, like, and basically, in many intents and purposes, that person has died, and I've died to them. And along with a lot of other people, I suppose, that don't want to check in on me or be, you know, I guess some things are just irreconcilable. Well, even then I question that, but it takes two to tango, and, like, what am I, yeah. So, maybe let's talk less about that, because I don't know what lessons can even be drawn from that, but what I'm trying to focus on is, the stuff that I do have going on, like, enjoying Piggy's company, and playing cool games, and getting to stream them finally, you know? It's always something that I never had the setup to do properly, and now that I can do it, and you know, maybe I don't have the best set or setup in the world in this flat at the minute, but that can always be improved. Eventually, maybe I'll move, maybe I won't. I'll do something, but I'm actually kind of proud of the. I did notice me putting "Is RE3 Remake terrible?" in one of the videos. Or "Is RE3 Remake good?" That actually did get clicks in a comment earlier today, which, you know, is better than nothing, I suppose. Sometimes the path forward isn't kind. Maybe you regret coming, but if you didn't, you'd never understand. You're always stronger than I gave you credit for.
Jacob, what happened to you here?
Yeah, what did happen? Because, oh, well, I must have missed that on the first run-through. Because... yeah, so we can fast travel now, but I don't think we need to go to the police station, and I still have no idea what the stone key is for. The only thing I can think of is there's like a hidden part in the game, or it's in the basement. What was I trying to say? Yeah, so we've got Abraxas Scenes, that's a Steam game that's coming out. Maybe as I stream more and more, maybe I'll even do like a roundup. I should have done this in January, but I didn't, but like a roundup of the games I played last year, coming into this year, and talk maybe like an edited video, talking about what I thought about them. I tend to enjoy those raw vlogs that I used to enjoy, that Spoonie used to do. But I don't know if I'm that good at organizing my thoughts that quickly in fast succession, right, to the camera. Because it's a different skill set. Like acting and presenting and hosting is you know, it's a different set of skills. It really is. You know, some people choose to put on a character. Some people would argue you're always putting on a character. And I did try some like TikTok stuff, but I was like trying to present it all professional, and like it's not really as raw as I am in the vlogs. I don't know. Maybe that's just the kind of mood I was in at the time. But this whole, you have to do and present everything as professionally as possible on your lazy casual stream. Like, well, yeah, you do, but you also kind of don't. But then here's the thing, though. You know, I always had this thing at the back of my head, like, oh, well, you know, acting is a respectable thing, and it should be high skill, and you can't, if your channel is focused around fucking streaming and other content, then you're not gonna. It's like, okay, but streaming is how a lot of like actors or performers get attention these days. You know, if they're no names or whatever, or they didn't get super lucky, or have like an agent really young or whatever, like a, you know, a big agent super young or whatever. It's like, okay. So, but then I'm pretty sure that like in Final Fantasy VII Remake they casted like half the cast is made up of streamers. So I don't. I swear there was some other stuff I want to say, but it's really off topic and probably deserves its own dedicated video. Yeah, I'm thinking we've actually found everything, and in that pitchfork in the road, there was actually nothing to find back up there. And we went the right way the entire time, because there is nothing here. Oh, giant door, wonder what's inside. That'll be the basement area. But it's saying that once you go down the lift, you can't come back, so... I don't know, chat. Are we in the mood to go and finish the game, or should we, you know, dick around just a little bit more to see if we really did miss anything? Because I feel like there's maybe also some stuff in the sewers that we missed. I know we did spend quite a lot of time in there. I know the sewer level is the worst part of every game. What is it with games and sewers? Here's what I think it is. It can be an interesting location. It makes for a good dungeon. Because municipal sewer systems are often very vast and very huge. But unless you're like a like a municipal worker trained specifically to go and deal with them, and I know in America sewers are huge. I don't know if they're nearly as big here. I don't know. But they really are like walkable and big tunnels, and there's like maybe you do that for access. I don't know actually, but it's a place that I feel like civilians never go. And there's a mystery in caverns, and like it's. I don't think I've ever been in a sewer, but I think they only have them in certain inner cities. So I don't know. Maybe they make for a good maze. Maybe they. But why are they such staple in games, right? Oh yeah, that's another thing I could talk about. But maybe that would be a separate stream. I could just like do a stream reacting to to the State of Play 2026 for PlayStation. What a crock of fucking shit. The only thing that I'm excited about on that is Resident Evil 9. Oh no, fuck, we're in the crawl. But we want to go to the sewer. Well, so it's only the farmhouse that the other end of the sewer leads to, right? Because we can't get back to Wyatt Park during the night. In Wyatt Park in the day that we could use that key for, with the mysterious key that we've got, and we haven't found what it unlocks, like, whatsoever. So, you know, and we dicked around in the sewer for a while. Oh yeah, and I just realized what her red outfit is. It's like a gambling hostess's outfit, right? And I was like, what, is that an air hostess outfit? Okay. That's the thing. I get that people come and go, and generally they bond around common interests or like common goals, right? And you know, if you lose those, but then again, I think about people I consider active friends. He kind of has different goals, so maybe it's values ultimately that bond people, you know? Or maybe not. Maybe there's something more to it. If I start talking about Christian, what was I wanting to say? You know, I don't think there's any other figure on the internet that has a dedicated wiki to their psychology and their laziness. And for a guy that basically never left the house and never did anything, it is insane how much content is on that wiki. And a lot of people, I feel like they, well, he used to email people a lot, actually, so that shed quite a lot of light. But it is just so fascinating. It's like this portal into time for the classic Christian era, which is always the most fun, in my opinion. You know, people call it the classic era for a reason. How that fucker got away with what he did, It's quite amazing. I don't think people have even still processed that he basically got away with it. Yeah, Jordan did a really good album. I actually listened to that again. I don't think I've ever done like a full conversation with him. And then there's this other kid on the block that has had loads of content springing up around him, with people now grifting off of him. This guy called Cyrax, who looks like this fucking Hills Have Eyes extra, who is like... He's a different kettle of fish, though. But Christian... He's like so simple yet so warped. And I think it's the whole... him dressing himself up in the innocence of like... I mean, there's some shit that's fucking hilarious, like, you know, I guess it's not so funny anymore, but I think what people... I think, was it like Jordan who said, people think that, like, Christian's like this crazy guy that's always fucking doing stuff, right? That's, like, outrageous, and a lot of it is really a slow burn, because you've got to remember, he doesn't have a job, he doesn't really have any real friends, he doesn't really have anything to do, and now he never even makes his comic. And the content he does is just like... Now he does like Transformers footage stuff. I don't fucking know. But yeah, it's like having the dedicated wiki to... and then he goes quiet for a while. And then you don't realize that, like, there's a load of stuff being documented that isn't publicly shared. Then it comes out. Then you have a big outrageous, like, outburst, and then you've got to retrace what led up to it. But I don't know if he has the brain capacity at this point to be able to... Because people would point out a lot of stuff, and nobody likes having their flaws pointed out, or their ego pointed out, or whatever, right? But, like, people would try to help and point out all this, like, absurd shit that he believed directly to him multiple times, and the guy just never really... None of it synced in, or he didn't want to believe it, or, like, he maybe couldn't process it. I don't know. I remember reading this one email talking about how he's, like, just how delusional he was being about, some of the stuff he was saying that he wanted. Okay, is this the underground base as well? Because this door's also jammed. Anyway, maybe to really truly go into the Christian stuff, it's like you have... you've got to go on a wiki walk. Which I don't even know if something... Because a lot of normies just go... I think they think the internet is 5 to 10 seconds on a phone. On apps like TikTok and YouTube Shorts or something, like anything long, they can't. I don't know. I'm just never going to understand that world. Yeah, it just doesn't really seem to appeal to me that much. I know there's quite a lot of creators that sort of try to exploit them, but even when I've reposted some shorts every now and then, like, you know, probably drunk, and it's like of a clip that I thought was kind of funny. It kind of just is a little bit like... How do I fast travel then? Can I? Street access. Yeah, well, we already went through here quite a few times, right? So, what was I trying to say? I'm just fucking right. Yeah, it would be interesting to try to prime Christian on somebody who doesn't know anything about it. But the thing is, it's been so long, and so much, yet so little has happened. Where do you even begin, I suppose? I think I tried to sum it up one time. This is before the, you know, the motherfucker incident broke. I was like, every now and then, for some reason, I'll go back and listen to the Casey's father Christian call, and it is just illuminating, because nothing the dude says sinks in, right? And to this day, it is probably the most blunt assessment I think the wiki says of, you know, his mentality or his ideas about things. The most blunt personal assessment that the guy has already, that Christian has ever had. But here's the thing. To us, it's obviously, you know, bullshit, but Chris fully believed 100% this was real. And that this actually was, his fake but real girlfriend's dad. And I know that was a long time ago, but not much has changed, other than I just think Chris doesn't really seem to put that much out on the internet of his own thoughts and opinions anymore. Are we... Yes, we are hurt. But we have no energy. So... what to do? It would be really interesting to play a game and just prime somebody on Christian. Yeah, so, what was it? Yeah, my years and years ago now. Fuck. What is happening with time ever since the lockdown? Because I can scarcely believe how time has flown. And it's like, everything happens but nothing happens. Is this always how people have felt? I don't know. But it's like, yeah, so I was like, oh yeah, I'm listening to this fucking guy on the internet who's like a fucking idiot, and it's just like, I don't know, he's having a phone call with like his fake internet girlfriend's dad, and he's like, oh, well, I don't want to get a job because, well, I can play Pokemon and draw Sonic. Like, I was like, that's the briefest summary that I could, you know, like, just communicate to somebody who knew nothing about it and he got a laugh. And then, like, a day later, the guy's like, holy shit, you were talking about that? It's trending on Twitter. And that's the thing, it was... The guy is so infamous that, like, it got trending on Twitter about... And I don't know what it is that fascinates me. Is it because I don't want to end up like that? Or maybe the people that... maybe the psychology of it is fascinating. Maybe it's the era it comes from. Like that time period I'm nostalgic about. I don't know. Does it help you get insights? Because it like there's so much documented that like... But then there's so many other character... It's not just Sloth. It's like all of the... Yeah, I don't know. It's just giving very incredible assessments of and insights into the psychology of a hopeless person. And maybe it's like... But then I don't know. Maybe some people would say that he has learned finally. So I don't know if they put him on meds in jail or they're like I don't fucking know. But the man, the Liquid Chris thing is just so funny to me. Because of how fucking stupid and obvious it is, but how good the impression is. So we can't really fast travel. We could go to the police station, but there's not really much else at the police station. We found everything in the crawl. There's nothing really left at the farmhouse because all of the doors are closed and we can't go back out through the gate at the front. And we can't fast travel there. So... we may as well just go finish the game. Well, I didn't really want to finish the game on this, alright. Out of range, really? Okay. You know, that's an idea. Like, expanding the range on this thing wouldn't hurt? Oh. 666 damage. That frost effect is very useful. this thing drains the stamina. But are people like Chris who are that lazy and delusional and somehow extremely arrogant about it, who refuse to learn, are they more common than you think? They're just not as unhygienic? Or are they just more competent at, like, the stuff they want to... Okay, that was... Okay. Maybe I could talk a little bit about this Cyrex character. So he is... Like, he looks like a Hills Have Eyes extra, but he's also very lazy. But comes from a very... kind of fucked family, I think. But... So I think the thing... At first people have sympathy, because at first glance it's like, oh, okay, this, you know... This, like, kid is getting bullied because of... But a lot of these people routinely prove themselves to be really horrible people, you know? So... I think that is the ultimate thing. It's like, it's not just people making fun of them for their incompetence or their, like... What else was I gonna say? So I was like, oh, you know, no, Chris was just anti-work, and he was, you know, said what he thought, and he made his own comment. And, like, when I was sort of looking back at it, when I hadn't looked into it for ages, right? And I was like, oh, yeah, no, I don't know, maybe he was, oh, shit, I fast-traveled, so absolutely everything will have respawned. I forgot about that. What was I saying? Yeah, so... It's kind of like... like, oh, maybe he was kind of based, you know, and just, it's like, people just thought he was, like, fucking cringe or whatever, but then, it's like, no, then there's just the horrific stuff, and that he actually treated people horribly, and was really, really inconsiderate, to a point where it's like, no, this isn't just, like, difficulties, this is just outright, the guy is just a fucking asshole, so fuck him. And it's kind of a little bit like that, I think people found with Cyrax, right? Because not only is he very unhygienic, it's like all of this stuff that he like supposes to like want to do. Finality. Oh, you need like full stamina for that. And I probably need, like, energy to do that. And I think I've used, like, all of the coffee, so... Are they, like, sapping my energy at the same time, or...? What was I saying? Yeah, so... It's just amazing how incompetent Cyrax is at the things that, like, he, purported to spend his life trying to do, right? So, the Cyrax guy is, like... So he looks kind of unfortunate, but he doesn't do himself any favors by, you know, being really unhygienic and dressing like shit, and, it's like, yeah, you're not a skater in fucking 2004 anymore, dude. You, you're like 35. And, it's kind of sad because you're not, like, you're dressing like you're in a band, but he's not in a band. And, like, it's like he says, oh yeah, he's like a musician, but he can't really play music, and he can't really sing, and he's never really made any music. And the stuff that he has is, like, really cringy covers. So it's like he's kind of just a fan, but putting himself out there to try to be famous, so it's like he's not even particularly good at gaming, because he's, like, obsessed with this, like, driving wheel, but he's terrible at those games, and the guy can't drive. Which is fine, like, it's fine to be terrible at video games. Like, I'm fucking terrible at video games. But, like, I'm not saying I'm a pro gamer. I don't know. The wingman was actually doing really well before, so... Maybe we could use one of the challenge points to cheese and get ourselves full energy. Shop. Three energy drinks available in the stash on all current save files and future new games. Oh, and then you can get weapon packs. Increase weapon damage when hitting enemies from behind. Sides. Increase window for parry. Oh! That would be very useful. Increase out of combat movement speed. Increase XP. Restore health after clearing an encounter. Okay. And then, yeah, we want that. Because we have 0 energy. Well, oh, fuck. Okay. What was I saying? Yeah, so it's like... But I think what people don't like about Cyrax is how dishonest he is. Because every, like, he looks very unfortunate, and every fake girlfriend that he thought was real that he's had, he has tried to cheat on. That he's ever had. Right? So the guy will talk about how he's... The trolls are horribly mean to him, and all he wants is somebody to love, and how he's so... distraught and like about the trolls that are always obvious trolls, but he will just fall for the most obvious bullshit. And the guy is like, how do I even put it? But his interpretation of events, or misinterpretation of them, is just like, I don't know how to put it. It is quite remarkable how, like, he'll present himself... Because the only people who really watch him are the trolls. And I think I've seen people say that the only... Any curious normie, all they would have to do... Because when you search his name, his channels don't come up. It's... The channel's documenting his, like, his silly shit, right? You're dead. What was I saying? Oh, they're armored. So, parrying them doesn't do shit, or... Gotcha. Right, okay, so that's one of them down. So that's gonna make... Throwing knives? Oh, oh, fuck. Alright. Maybe I need a different weapon. What was I saying? parry window, yeah, it would be better to have an increased parry window. So I think the problem is I can't get back to the save room until I take these out. Or maybe I just need to go around. Okay, so there you go, and then it's like a second and then you need to parry. So they do kind of telegraph their attacks, but that makes me feel like it's a completely different game. There. Now. 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 Well, I guess that'll do. Throw a stone. And then just fire. Light them up. Fuck. There we go. Oh, no, 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 controller! So staggering them isn't really doing anything to them. Yeah, if we get some energy, that would be a big help. Because I think it's... Yeah, if we... Another encounter. Hi, Piggy! Come on! Come on! Come on! He's back. I guess the Reaper is pretty powerful. But then again, so is the closed casket, so... yeah, but the Reaper has way more stopping power. Whereas the closed casket wasn't really doing a lot to them. Can I throw the knives? Yes. Oh, no stamina. Can I... Alright, well that trivialized that encounter. Is it just that I've really powered up the Reaper and I haven't really powered the closed casket? Oh, could you fuck off? There we go. And I feel like I'm losing stamina, like, constantly.
Ugly bastards.
Oh. Well, I had loads of hellfire. So, okay. Did you have fun? Where did you go, pig? Where did you go? Where have you been? Where have you been? Right, we need to get the empty coffee cup out there. What are we, like, not using? Because we're not really using the survival vest, but we could equip it with some stuff. But the workbench is in the basement, so maybe we'll just keep that. We should definitely take that with us. And you know what? Fuck it. We'll just go down the basement, because we've already cleared everything out. So there's not really much reason to stay. So we might as well go down. Because I assume we can come back up. Piggy is here, but he's having a bath on the couch. Well, not the couch, the carpet, the floor. Yeah, so it's saying you can't go back, but you can go back, so. Alright, there's a key code. What's the music like? Because I've kind of turned it down. Well, it wouldn't be true survival horror unless it ended in a secret lab, right? We don't seem to ever be able to do anything about closed... the jammed doors. It does make me wonder if they lead anywhere. Okay, so the survival vest... Wait, it has to be equipped. Let's see what we can put on it. That's useful. That's useful. That's useful. That's very useful. No, fuck it. Let's wear this for a bit. What do we have on the stalwart vest? Well, yeah, well, like, can you tell me what's on it, though? That is, for quality of life, it would be really nice if you could see what you've actually got. Upgrading this, I feel, will be very useful. There we go. You know, fuck it. Might as well... It's already got great range. Oh, but I've like used all my scraps. So never mind.
My bag's full.
Shit, my bag is full. So is there a vending machine here or what?
My bag's full.
There is. Yes. Domina. What does that do? Restore health and energy on enemy kills. Well... Okay. Door's jammed. Why is every fucking door... Right. If you can't go back around to open it eventually, I feel like just having jammed doors that go nowhere and are just there for decoration. Extremely annoying. As this game has gone on, the game doesn't really have a story, or it's very, very bare bones. Oh. We now have a riot vest. Nah, fuck it.
I'm carrying too much already.
We should probably put the vests that we're not using back in the box, right? Looks like a code. but it's not fully legible. 0, 2, 0, 2, 4, 9. Right? Oh, where's the box? What's in the box? Okay. So I feel like we were supposed to equip the silver vest at the coast, and then we never did. So I kind of like having the coffee. Nice. Speaking of, I should probably drink tea. Oh. Previous seed specimens, notably from site AO6, produced the beryl bloom, which demonstrated remarkable biochemical properties, including the ability to suppress traumatic memories in humans when synthesized into rejuve compound. This new red-flowered variant presents a similar but more potent effect, surfacing suppressed memories in a manner that may allow for reconciliation or resolution. The red-flowered's effect suggests that a controlled diluted formulation could be used to resolve mental trauma over an unknown period of time, providing therapeutic avenues previously unattainable. Ongoing objectives include optimizing cultivation, isolating specific bioactive compounds, and investigating long-term effects on human neural pathways. Success means redefining psychopharmacology and trauma therapy, offering both medical and commercial applications.
The rejuve drug my dad signed up for was made up of flowers from one of these seeds?
Yeah. I tell you what, chat. We're gonna end it there. I'm gonna get another cup of tea. And then we're gonna play the final section of the game. Once the mouse lets me choose SteamYard. SteamYard? It's StreamYard, right? No, it's Streamlabs. Right. Yeah. Well, that was the plan. If I could get my mouse to show up on my taskbar. Whatever, the control tab, would that do it? So my mouse just does not want to play ball. Is it control tab? Nope. Mouse gonna show up if I do that, because it's definitely on. Fuck. There we go. Okay. I'll catch you